Përshëndetje Endi nga Shqipëria, vendi I Shqiponjave. Yes, that's Albanian for you. We use Latin alphabet. The language is not closely related to any other language. In fact, it occupies a separate branch in the tree of Indo-European languages. Also, did you know that it is one of the oldest languages of the family as well? I'm not sure how Albanian language escaped extinction, but I'm not surprised by its age because traces of life in the territory of Albania are found to be 8,000 years old. And that brings me to today's topic, history. If you run a Google search about destinations in Albania, you will get more than 70 million results. Most of them will list places you can visit by the sea. I will take you up on the mountains instead. I call it the Eye in the Albanian Sky Tour, the castles of Albania. And to help me with that, I contacted Dr. Elvana Metalla, an accomplished Albanian archaeologist and a childhood friend of mine.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation.
All right. Well, it's good to see you, Elvana, after so many years. And I would like to start with a question that she joins me via Zoom. How many castles are in Albania and where are they located?
Yes, many of the castles and fortified cities that remained in our country date back from antiquity all the way to the period. To the medieval period, a stretch of time of about 2,800 years. Many of them are built on the top of the Illyrian constructions. They still retain the architectural features of the ancient times. Some of them are well preserved and some not. There are approximately 38 castles in all Albania, and they are located all over the country. In the middle of Albania, in the south, and in the north. We have some of the largest inhabited castles in the Balkans, which offer us a variety of styles and contribution of different periods, such as the Roman, Byzantine, medieval, and Ottoman. Let's say that after the 15th century, the further development of Albanian fortification was interrupted by the Turkish occupation.
This is something that I noticed, and I've noticed all my life actually. Almost all of them are located high in the mountains, almost at the top of the mountains. Why so? What's the purpose?
Yes, in fact, let me explain. It depends on the period. We have castles from Neolithic to the medieval period. In general, the castles that are constructed during the prehistoric period are very high and have different type of fortifications. For example, the Acropolis, the prehistoric castle's model, is always located at the most protected edge of the platform from both nature and invasions. Protected settlements with many surrounding walls are characteristic features of the Illyrian fortifications. We have some examples. A castle of Trajan in Korça or in Acropolis, which rises on top of the high rocky hills east of the city of Leja, or the Acropolis of Butrint, and the ancient city of Butrint, located in the southeast corner of Ksamil, had a very protected natural position. During the Roman period, we have castles and fortified cities that on the coast and inland, which were not built on a very high location and as such were protected by several rows of walls. There are many examples of such settlements in Albania,
Yes.
as we have Butrint, Apollonia, Orikos, Durrës, and Leja. Another interesting fact is, for example, that Emperor Justinian built or rebuilt 94 fortifications. So during the medieval period, castles appeared on both a high and not so high locations.
Okay.
Between the 11th and 14th century, many small castles appeared on top of hills or even fields, like the castle of Bastova.
So interesting. Different historical periods have different styles of building and different castles.
Yes,
Good to know. I
that's
did
true.
not know that.
We have, that we have in different periods, we have different style and different constructions, and they are very important to know. And we have a lot of castles, as I said, 37 in general, that are high up.
There's a lot of castles in Albania, I understand that. But if I am a foreigner and I'm visiting Albania, now, your professional opinion, what are some of the most representative castles that I must visit while in Albania?
As I said, we have too many castles. I will list here the most important ones. For example, one castle of Kruja is situated in the middle of the country, very close to Tirana airport, and is a great example of a medieval model built on the rocky ridge. Kruja is mentioned as a fortified settlement in Church Act that date back in the middle of the 13th century. The last constructions in this castle belong to the period of our national hero Skanderbeg, around the middle of 15th century. If you want to enjoy a beautiful sunset overlooking Western Plain on the Adriatic Sea, then Kruja is your best choice.
One, Kruja, first on the list. All right.
If we travel south to Berat, you will find, let's say, one of the most beautiful, largest and important monuments in Albania. Berat belongs to the rare cities where life being in ancient times and continue uninterrupted to this day. The castle is built on a rocky hill in a triangular shape, 107 meters high to the left of the mouth of the river Osum, with 24 towers and 2 gates. It is one of the most favorite tourist attractions in all Albania. In inner Albania, you will find Gjirokastra Castle.
Right? Gjirokastra. Okay. 3.
Situated on the hilltop overlooking the city, witnessing the history of the whole region across centuries. According to archeologists, the place has been inhabited since 4th or 5th century AD. Now, let's say back to the coast.
All right, back to the coast, right? Because we were traveling inside Albania. Number 4 now. Let's see.
Number 4. Now, in the southwest, there is the Canina Castle.
Canina.
Situated in the village with the same name, about 4 miles southeast of Lora. The castle has different Byzantine, Venetian, and Turkish elements. In addition, it offers beautiful view over the city of Lora due to its position on top of 380 meters, or about 1,247 feet high above the sea level.
It is indeed the eye in the sky. All of them, yes. Beautiful.
Another one, let's go to north part of Albania. Roza Castle is one of the most important and main tourist facility in the city of Shkodra. One of the most important northern cities of Albania. The castle rises on a rocky hill west of the city of Shkodra, surrounded by the rivers Buna, Drin, and Kir. So we have 3 rivers all around the city of Shkodra. Always a target, that castle was temporarily conquered by Slavs, Byzantines, and later Venetians and Ottoman during the whole medieval period. We have all these castles, very, very important. But we have other castles that I would suggest visit, that are those of Leja, Durrës, as well as Vivari Channel in Butrend. So a very good view of all our castles.
Yes, and indeed you're right, it's all over Albania. It's in the north, inner Albania, in the south, by the rivers, by the sea, up in the mountains. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I have visited most of them. I still have a few that I need to visit, but next time. Now, I do have one question that goes beyond Albania. There's so many castles in Albania, and I think the number is very high. But is that an exception in Europe, or are there many castles in other countries in Europe as well?
No, Albania is not an exception. You find many of them in the Balkans and Europe. depending on the defensive situation of the country.
Oh.
So some of the countries are, for example, Greece, Italy, France, etc. I think that there is no shortage of castles in Europe. That's for sure.
That's for sure, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Metalla. Faleminderit, Elvana, for your time and your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
All right, good to see you. And maybe one day, Dr. Metalla and I, along with Devin, my colleague, will tour off the castles of Europe. And until that happens, keep watching Letters to Andy. Till next time, Enkela.